Watcher. Sorry, just been eating my lunch. This is. God, the rain's all horrible. Actually, before I start, I just want to say, if there's anybody in Wales or in the floodplains, hope everybody's okay. I just want to say that it's horrible, isn't it? Feels like the world's coming to an end. But the best thing we can all do is don't pave over your garden and don't dig up trees. There you go. It's the first thing you learn in geography. No, it's horrible though, isn't it? Yeah, so I hope everybody's okay. I just wanted to say that before I started. Now, this is a video response to Sam Woodward. I hope it's Sam Woodward. I didn't write down. No, it is, isn't it? Of course, I'm just second guessing myself. I always do that. Video response to Sam Woodward. He did. I think it was on the back of Lee's one. Nez Nutter. I know there have been a few before, or maybe one or two before Lee did one, but I think after Lee's one, it sort of exploded slightly, and there were 10 gaming questions videos coming left, right, and centre, which is a good thing. You know, it's healthy, isn't it? But at the same time, all the response videos came all at the same time. So I just thought I held this one back slightly. I would have done it a few days ago, but I held this one back slightly. And they're nice balanced questions actually, like Lee's were. They're nicely balanced questions, and they make you think. So I thought I'd give this one a punt. Yeah, Sam Woodward. He's a new YouTuber. I think he's not got over 30 subscribers so far. So he's right in the sort of the early stages. So go and check him out. I'll put his description, a link to his channel in the description box below. So go and check him out, because we all need a bit of a leg up. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? A bit of a leg up in the early days. So and also. If you like the sound of the questions, give it a crack, and go and check out his initial video. It's yeah, that will be on his channel. Or actually, I'll put a link. Oh God, I'll put a link in the description box along with a link to his channel. There you go. This one. So 10 questions. 10 questions. Again, like I said, nicely balanced. Number 1. Driving games, steering wheel or pad. Ideally steering wheel, but I think in practice it doesn't really work out that way, does it? It tends to be a lot more difficult. I think. I've really enjoyed playing through Mario Kart Wii using just the little Wii wheel. It's a bit tiny, you know. We would have liked it to have been a bit bigger. It wasn't. So it was a bit small for my hands, but you can really sort of, because it's obviously, you know, it's not attached to anything. You can really give it a good old sort of like cartoon style sort of, you know, really like give it some. Is that making sense? No, not really. But it's sort of, because it's a cartoony sort of style game. It's not a realistic game, and it's really over the top. And you can sort of you're steering. This isn't making sense at all, but I think, who was it who said? I can't remember. But the thing is, sort of the actual driving wheels, they don't really live up to the expectations. It's only the really good ones. I think it's sort of Logitech. They're a really good one, really good range, and they're really expensive. They're all like over £100, and they come with really sort of stainless steel pedals and stuff. And they look really good, but they're expensive. And I imagine they add to the experience. But the sort of the high street ones, I suppose they might be high street, depends where you get them from. But you know, the entry level ones, they're all a bit don't know, bit pointless, bit light. You need something with substance. Actually, it reminds me, there's a Crystal Xbox in my local Oxfam. It's got 3 third-party controllers. No games, but it's got 2 Xbox steering wheels. I'm tempted by it. It's for 20 quid. Just for the steering wheels, but I imagine they're shit. But anyway, so I don't know. I think it's a bit soulless playing driving games with a pad, but then that's what I've always done. My answer is, in an ideal world, a steering wheel, but in reality, a pad. That's a bit of a fudged answer, but number 2, Reboot any retro game series. Now, I've got a perfect answer to this. This is always, any question like this comes up, it'll always be referencing my last 10 questions video. It'll be Shining Force, one of my favourite ever games. And it's basically just your standard sort of strategy RPG, but I think the ones that have come after it haven't had that same level of sort of exploration before the battles. They're essentially just sort of one battle to another battle with sort of dialogue boxes and a bit of character interaction in between through the dialogue boxes, and they don't really have that same immersion. But I thought, to reboot Shining Force, they should have a perfect combination of Suikoden with the character, the exploration, the world exploration, and character recruitment. So you get to know all these characters. Preferably 2 or 5. I mean, 5's got the bigger game world, and combine that with the strategy battles of Fire Emblem to make a new Shining Force game. I'd love that. That'd be a system seller for me if that appeared on the PS4 or the Xbox One or the Wii U or wherever. Where would it? I don't know. Probably. I could see it being on a Vita. Don't know. Maybe to start off with. Well, it needs to be bigger, maybe. I don't know. But that would be a system seller for me. That game. And I've already thought it through, because you could have some sort of a basic world exploration bit, and you can have like we can have like a battle party of 6, like you could do Suikoden with random battles. But then you could have regular large scale battles with bigger armies, like you do with Fire Emblem, like you have sort of 15, 20 soldiers with permadeath. That'd be brilliant. I'd love that. If there's anybody watching who makes games, just start making it, because that'd sell me a system. Rarest game pickup. Well, I don't really have anything that rare in the sort of the proper sense, and I think like Lee said, I think rare gets overused. I think we're starting to. I'm seeing some sort of rethink of that whole idea of rare, because you don't quite see it rammed down your throat like you used to. But it's, it still does get used, but not quite to the same extent it used to. But in terms of sort of video game rarity, I don't actually have anything, sort of ridiculously rare, like certain games that are like mythical games, like is it Lakers versus Celtics? Nothing like that on the Mega Drive, or I think it's what is it, Polaroid Pete on the PS2. Now that's a game that this is debated whether it actually exists, but there's artwork. There's actual artwork, packaging artwork, PAL packaging artwork on Google if you Google it, and general sort of reviews. I think there's a review. What was there a review on? It was like Bad Influence or something. It's really bizarre. Years ago, and it might be on one of the episodes on YouTube. But I've got a few PS2 games which are quite rare in their sort of UK form with the sort of the English language. I've got like Wild Arms 5, but that's nothing that's not readily available if you want to pay the money. All this stuff's easily available. I've got Samurai Showdown Anthology on the Wii, which is a full UK edition, and I've looked around for other ones and not ever found one. Even like Amazon, places like that. But no, I think the genuinely sort of weirdest, in rare thing that I've got is this. Formula 1 99. It's given away from a staff conference in Dublin. I think it's a PlayStation. I suppose it's PlayStation. People who work for PlayStation, or I don't know if it's a Sony staff conference or what. I'm guessing it's a PlayStation staff conference. www.playstationeurope.com. Yeah, and it's basically in a clamshell. It's got like the Sony, but it's got this weird disc like that. I bought this in a charity shop a couple of years ago. I bought it like an idiot. I bought it with it was a disc. It was a commemorative version of Rapid Racer. It was had a gold front disc. It was gold on the front. It was Rapid Racer, and it was just a loose disc. I think it might have come in here actually. And it was to commemorate 50 million games, PlayStation games printed. I think discs printed and come out of the factory. 50 million, but I gave that away in a 237 subscriber competition. I twat, I should have kept it. But I've kept this one. But this is just a bit weird. It's obviously like a giveaway. I have no idea how many there are. Sort of, obviously some sort of staff conference in Dublin. I don't know. It's just for people who live in Dublin, or whether it's sort of like a global thing and everybody travelled to Dublin for the particular conference. I don't know. I've not been able to find anything out about this on. Obviously, I wish it was a better game, but I've not been able to find anything else out about it online. The closest thing I found was a vague reference to something similar, but it was a Tekken 3, a version of Tekken 3 that was given away in an Athens staff conference. I don't know what year that was. I suppose it would have been later than 99. But that's the only thing I've ever referenced I've seen to anything similar to this. But yeah, it's a bit weird. I've no idea if it's worth. Doubt it's worth anything. Might be something that a collector might like, but I sort of keep hold of it because it's a bit of a novelty. Question 4. Shit, nearly 30 minutes. Question 4. Strap a bomb to a console. Which one would give you the most would be most satisfying to blow up? In other words, I didn't really experience it myself, but it would definitely be the I'd have to consider the original models of the Xbox 360, just because they got away with murder with the build quality, and it didn't deserve to be as successful as it was. Just the build quality is shocking. I think Lee mentioned that, but apart from that, I'd have to go with. As far as consoles I've used, I'd have to go with the original Game Boy Advance, purely because of that screen. It's just a killer. Because everybody says, and I totally agree with them, everybody says that the actual console itself is the most comfortable of all of the Game Boy Advances, and probably Game Boys, I suppose. It's the most comfortable to hold, and all the buttons are in the right place, and it feels intuitive. It's just that screen, so frustratingly dull. I've got one. It's battered, my one, so my screen might be shitter than others, I don't know. But I can only ever play it if I'm sitting right in a window or have to put it directly under a lamp. It's ridiculous. And I find it really irritating because it's such a missed opportunity. But there you go. It'd have to be the original GBA. Name a game in your collection where the computer cheats. I'd have to. It's a toss-up between Championship Manager 99-2000 because it does cheat. Well, it used to. I've not played it in a long time. It used to cheat because you'd have this brilliant team, and it would regularly put you up against, like lower league teams in cups and stuff, and you'd batter them. And it would sort of play by, so it wouldn't play by the rules that it set out for you. It wouldn't, the rules that govern the game. It would regularly break them, you know, you weren't playing on a level playing field, and it's really frustrating when that happens, because you'd batter this team and they'd have one shot and score, and you'd have like 40 odd shots. But also Tetris. I'm sure, like the amount of times I've played Tetris and built up the screen, and all you're looking for is a straight to give you 4 lines, and I'm positive that you know, the game chooses not to give you a straight on purpose, and then there's nothing else you can do. I'm positive. You know, I might be a bit paranoid, I don't know, but you know. So there you go. It's a toss-up between Championship Manager 99-2000 and Tetris. Hardest to complete, RPGs or platformers. Well, I have to go platformers because I don't think RPGs are difficult to complete in the classic sense. It's more about time investment. I think there's obviously more skill that comes into play when playing platformers. I think yeah, it's purely RPGs about time investment. Yeah, so essentially, if you decide to carry on with it, you will put the time in, even if you get stuck. I mean, like I said, I've got games that I've put off for years and then gone back to, and then got past that point, and it's just literally if you persist, you will beat the game. So yeah, platform was that on, especially like Skull Monkeys. Fucking hell, sorry. Skull Monkeys. Play Skull Monkeys. Just Jesus Christ. Favourite 16-bit game? I don't really want to go with. Shining Force again. It would be a toss-up between Phantasy Star 4, because that had a good few playthroughs. Loved that game. Phantasy Star 4, Thunder Force 4. That's one of the few shooters I've ever completed. Although in hindsight, I've discovered that I only completed it. I was totally forgot this. Only completed it because I used to use a cheat for. It wasn't an invincibility cheat. It was a full all weapons cheat, I think, and maybe 99 lives or something. I can't remember. So it's a toss-up between Phantasy Star 4, Thunder Force 4, and a good shout. I only had it for a year. A good shout goes to Shadowrun on the SNES. Loved that. Should have kept my SNES just for that game. But although I did get a bit stuck at one point. FIFA or Pro Evo? I'd have to go Pro Evo purely because I've had more experience of it over the years, and although FIFA has all the player rosters, I think Pro Evo, especially in the early years, had a bit more soul. I think actually the game I've played most is ISS Pro. It's obviously the precursor to Pro Evo, but I don't know. It was always Pro Evo was always the sort of the market leader, and I think FIFA was just literally a player roster update every year, and although they talked about how much the game changed, but it never felt like it did. And every review, oh yeah, the game's changed, but this is me personally, it didn't feel like it changed that much. And I'm sure they only ever sell games on the back of an updated player roster because they know they can. It's easy, but I'd have to go Pro Evo. But obviously now Pro Evo is the real players anyway, doesn't it? So Pro Evo. How often do you go out scanning for games? I try to go once a week. Although this week, especially this weather, it's just don't really fancy it. I might go out tomorrow, depending on what the weather's like. Although there is football and there's FA Cup. So it's generally once a week, but also when I'm out about doing other things, I try to go in as many charity shops as I can. I can't really go past a charity shop and go out, or a game shop, or a cash converters or something like that. I have to go in them, even though I'm doing other things to do, proper things, normal things, serious things, but I can't pass one up. So it's at least once a week. But I won't pass up on an opportunity to go in somewhere that might sell games. But, number 10, favourite FPS. That'd have to be. It would have been the original Halo, because I was never really played FPSs before. I played that on my Xbox, and it was what sold the Xbox to me, and I loved it. Played it all the way through. FPSs don't often really grip me, so to the point where I have to play them solidly, you know, from the first point I put them in. Halo was one, Modern Warfare 2 was one, but the best one is, I think I'm just echoing Lee here, I've done that a lot actually. It's Half-Life 2 by a mile. It's I think technically it's been way surpassed by other things, but as far as storyline and you know, set pieces and I think it's just generally it's hard to fault. I mean, it's the only game I've ever played where I don't generally get vertigo, but it's the only game I've ever played where I did feel a bit wobbly climbing under the bridge. When you have to cross the bridge, you have to climb up underneath it, and you're getting shot at by that bloody Hunter helicopter, whatever it's called. Yeah. And so if a game does that to you, you know, it's got to be pretty special. And a lot of the characters are just generally just one of the I always get the name wrong. One of my favourite levels is it Ravenwood or Ravenscroft, or it's essentially the first zombie level where you meet is it Grigori, the priest? He's just like this insane priest who set up all these zombie traps. It's one of my favourite game characters actually. I like how insane he is and just fearless, and how that final battle where you have to help him out. I love it. But it's definitely Half-Life 2. Incredible game. If you should have played it through, you know, anyone should play it through. I mean, my first playthrough was on my original Xbox, and that was a bit dodgy, but because of the load times. But ever since I've had my 360, I just love that game. I have sort of not played through to the end of part 2 fully. I got a bit pissed off and stuck, you know, angry with I can't remember. I just got pissed off having to kill those not reapers. Are they reapers? I can't remember what they're called. The things that appear and they shoot those needles at you, and they make those weird noises. And they've got like one eye. But I think I'm close to the end. I'm really close to the end. I just got really a bit pissed off. But anyway, so 22 minutes, just another long one, especially for a tag video or 10 questions video. But I hope you enjoyed it. Keep safe in the rain. Keep dry in the rain. And there'll probably be a big ups video coming up soon. Check out Sam's channel and Sam's video in the description box below. And yeah. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.